Let's wait for that plane to pass before we begin. Figured out I can go outside now. Okay, cool. So before we get into anything, I'm going to explain how this actually came to be. So these Maryn Lite V2s, now known as the Prismas, were originally meant to be just trainers, right? And a lot of people get this wrong. He's never doing a drop like these again. So he was going to do like a drop of 10 to 30 Maryn Lites, just cuz, right? But then his anno shop fucked up his handles, so the tolerances were just ruined. Dope. Holy fuck. That is such a noticeable scuff. Oh my god. You just saw like the first horrible scuff live. I don't really care, but that was funny. Good time to do a tolerance check. Okay, cool. Cool. And so what happened was his handles were ruined. His Maryn Lite handles were ruined. And tolerances were just going to be fucked. So, but he needed something to do with his perfectly fine live blades. So at the time, he was designing these handles for a cheap trainer, which is going to be around $150, right? $150 for a trainer version of these. So the first drop of these were just called the Maryn Lite V2s, and he got those trainer handles, which are cheap, right? They're very square to reduce machining costs and machining time. They're on 60/60 aluminum. Very cheap and easy to produce for him. And he just got those handles, slapped his leftover Maryn Lite live blades on those, and did a drop, right? Of around 10 to 30, depending on how many live blades he had. Depending on how many live blades he had left over from the ruined Maryn Lite batch, he just slapped all of those on some handles, did a drop, right? Easy peasy. And the rest, and that was an exclusive thing. He's never going to do this again. The rest of the drops for these are going to be in different colors, but they're going to be all trainers. Let's wait for that plane to pass again. So this is going to be the only live blade drop for this model. This is going to be the only live blade drop for this model, right? As these blades were originally meant to be for Maryn Lites, but he was just making these handles, and it was like, why not just slap the fucking leftover blades on my cheap-ass handles and sell them for a new drop? That's all I have to say about that, though. So the rest of these are going to be trainers. This was an exclusive thing. So this thing is really fucking light. This thing is like a little under 4 ounces. It's like 3.9 ounces. Like ridiculous, right? It has some ass weight to it. Not really. It's pretty neutral. If you take out the weights on the end, it's even more neutral. But like it's like dead neutral if you take out the weights. But it's also very light. So I don't fuck with light knives that much. That's why I like the Kraken so much. It's not heavy, but it's like 4.2, 4.3 ounces, perfect weight. But yeah, this is on 60/60 aluminum, like I just said. Handles are square to reduce machining times for the upcoming trainer drops, because these live blades are never happening again. And one thing I should also mention, this live blade says 211 because this blade was originally meant to go on the 211th Maryn Lite. But since the 211th Maryn Lite handles were fucked, they now go on one of the first Prismas, as he calls them. They're the Maryn Lite V2, whatever. You can call the trainer ones the Prismas if you want, but I'm never going to call these live blade ones the fucking Prisma. Sounds dumb. Which are going to go for $150, by the way, the trainers. So this thing is really light. Has some handle bias to it. Very slight. I like it a lot. I don't want to go for full neutral just because it makes it too light. I like the jimping on this thing a lot. Takes up a little over 1/3 of the handle, I think. Maybe a little under, just around 1/3. Approx, whatever. These are less spaced apart than the Kraken jimping lines, deeper than the Kraken jimping lines, and just better than the Kraken jimping lines. Squid does not know how to do jimping properly. They're either too spaced apart, too shallow. They don't take up the full width of the handle, the full thickness of the handle, which is ridiculous to me. I don't like it. I love my Kraken to death, but just this does jimping so much better. As you just saw, this thing probably won't take very kind to concrete beatings. Not that that'll prevent me from beating it on concrete. I'm just saying for anyone who's actually planning on babysitting this and taking it outside. So this thing is really nice. 5 minutes in, I'm finally telling you guys this. So the milling on the blade, I live next to an airport, I think. I've never actually seen the airport. I just know it's really close. So the milling on the blade is actually really nice. This feels so much better to chaplain on than my Kraken because it's a fairly thin profile. You know, I don't know what to call this blade. This looks like a weird Bowie kookery thing. I don't know. But it's a really nice profile. But this edge is nasty. This thing is on S35 VN. This edge will cut you by you tapping it. Like, look at this. This shit is ridiculous. You guys know I don't get cut that often. But this thing has killed me. Oh yeah, this cut right here. Where is it? See if I can find it. Oh, there it is. This cut right here I got from doing a backhand fan. You know, like the ricochet backhand fan I do on the wrong handle, which is embarrassing. So, this thing is deadly sharp and has really nice tolerance. So I recommend you're careful with this thing. I've seen a lot of people tape their blades. I'm not a pussy, so I'm not going to do that. I'll take all the cuts I can really get. But this thing is a lot faster than the Kraken. Just for note. But no, I really like it. This pattern has been done before on other knives. However, it's actually wider. Like each little webbing is a little wider, meaning there's less of it, but they're bigger, so it doesn't really matter. You can actually feel it, and it allows for more grip. You know, I appreciate these holes too. They're also good for grip, along with the jimping and such. This Tang is very much rounded. I've not been, something I really need to point out. I don't know how I haven't mentioned this yet. This Tang is so nice. I've never been pinched by this. And all the time I've been fucking around with this thing, never been pinched by it. I've nicked myself more than I've pinched myself with it, which rhymes kind of. That's cool. Which is kind of crazy. This thing is also on double-sided screws. Dope, better acoustics and stuff, but you know, some people might be annoyed by that. I don't know why you would be annoyed by that, but like some people like double-sided in case your pivot starts spinning, but you shouldn't be taking this apart anyway. One thing I also just noticed, these have little holes in them. These don't, these do. But yeah, no. This thing does every trick I've tried on it perfectly. I'm being careful not to drop it again. It's very fluid, and definitely stays in your hand. And I appreciate how grippy it is, especially at the top and near the pivots. I appreciate. Fuck. I appreciate how grippy it is on the top of the handles, because even though it lacks the milling slots the Kraken does. I'm sorry for making so many comparisons to the Kraken, even though this is the Maryn Lite individual review. It's just that, like, I'm so experienced with the Kraken. It's the only aluminum channel knife I've actually used, like, a lot. I used the Vortex a lot, but, like, I sold that thing, so, you know, whatever. This thing, oh my god, I have to say this. I'm saying this too late in the review. This feels like a live blade Vortex. It has the same nuttiness, dude. Like, this feels like, it's just nuts the same. That's all I really have to say on the Vortex thing. But I appreciate how grippy it is on the top. So rollovers are really clean to pull off. And with the extra blade weight and the better Tang, it's just so nice to do rollovers on this thing, you know. Chaplains are like the best thing on this. Because, like I said, the extra blade weight is dope. I think I just cut myself. That is about my cue to end this video. But give me a second. We can scrape blood off on my fucking pants. But thing feels really nice to chaplain on. It's a bit light, so if you're not into that, oh my god. So if you're not into that, then yeah, let me actually hold this with the other thing, because I don't need to flip this that much. So it's a bit light. Took me a second to get used to, but it's really nutty. The milling on the blade is impeccable, so it feels really nice to chaplain. The Tang is really smooth, so it's really nice for rollovers. If you're a fan of this weight and you're a fan of nutty knives, period, You're gonna love this. I really like this. It's a kind of ringy when you fan it, because it's aluminum, but it's also really thocky. I should do like the nut test. I'm left-handed here, fellas. Be patient with me. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the Maryn Lite. Really, jimping is superior. I like this weight system. Tang is just great. The blade is a bitch, if you couldn't tell. And yeah, I recommend this thing. Fucking, if you like this weight profile of just a little under 4 ounces, definitely I fuck with this thing a lot. So yeah, I'll be beating this a lot too. It's like my favorite knife, but I beat everything, so who cares? Yeah, expect to see more of this thing. Anything else? I already said you can remove these for a very neutral, like a dead neutral balance. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Bye.